Hi, I'm Beth Freschi, a relaxation and life coach here in the Twin Cities. The name of my company is A Time for Expression LLC. I'm going to talk about Zoom fatigue, which refers to all the different video chat apps. Most of us are upping our use of this, and it can get tiring, and your body can get sore, and mentally it can be exhausting. I was reading on social media an article about Zoom fatigue, and as I was reading it, I thought, well, this is good, but as a relaxation coach, I feel that I can add something to the conversation. So I'm hoping these tips that I give you will help you feel more at ease and relaxed as you're using it. The first tip that I want to give is what you choose to sit in when you're doing this. And I recommend choosing the most comfortable seat you have in your home. If you can see behind me, I'm in a cushioned recliner chair. I'm not reclining right now, but I could if I wanted to. But I think it's just important to have plenty of cush on the seat and even the surrounding parts. And then also, I encourage you to scoot your butt all the way back. So much of us are leaning forward like this in Zoom, and that gets exhausting. Of course, sometimes you might want to lean forward if you're adding extra attention to what somebody's saying, but for the most part, you actually look better if you're feeling relaxed. So bringing your butt all the way back and even having your back leaning against the back of the chair is a good way to start. The next thing is your posture. Keeping your shoulders dropped for the most part and just having a relaxed look on your face. Of course, sometimes you're going to smile, but the key to me is varying your position and your expression so that you can maintain doing these calls so that you don't feel just totally sore. Like some people's face just gets sore or their body does. And so if you can change it up and, sit back, drop your shoulders, keep your face pretty relaxed, smile when you want to, but also, it's okay to have a more neutral face, or even experiment with like the Mona Lisa smile where you're just kind of just a little bit of a smile. And that will help. And you can practice these tips with a friend first if you don't want to start out doing it at work or some really important meeting. But try it out and then see if you can use these different tips that I'm talking about when you're doing other types of calls. And the next tip is related. It's changing your body position. I mean, most of the time you want to be sitting back, shoulders dropped, and then there'll be certain times when you lean forward, which is okay, again, as long as it isn't too much. But then it's good to shift positions a little bit. And you can do this without being disruptive. You're probably thinking, and at least I'm thinking of times where I've been in a Zoom group and people are going a little crazy. They're like getting up and they're eating and they're, like moving their computer around, and, it gets really distracting. But you can do subtle position changes. Sometimes what I like to do is just bring one leg up and cross it over. I know you can't really see, but like I have it like this, just resting. And I'll do this for like maybe a minute or two. And then I'll bring it down. And as you can see, I mean, you can tell that I'm moving, but it isn't like really crazy. And then you can do it on the other side. And then you can bring your feet down after a few minutes. And even as I'm adjusting like this, during a Zoom meeting, if you have a lot of people, they're probably not going to be that distracted if you're doing these subtle movements. And then another position change that you can do is very subtle, and it's actually a relaxation technique that I talk about a lot on this channel. It's kind of taking little bits of progressive muscle relaxation to keep your muscles relaxed, and it actually involves tensing and then releasing. So see if you can tell what I'm doing right now. I mean, you might see that I'm moving a little bit. What I'm doing is squeezing my glutes together and releasing them. And you can do that several times, and it's really not going to, cause any kind of distraction, but it activates those muscles, and as you tense and release them, they'll become more relaxed, and it will prevent them from getting that, sore bottom or just feeling really stiff down there. So that's one that you can do. Another one, see if you can tell what I'm doing right now. You probably can't. What I'm doing is flexing and pointing my feet. And that gets your lower legs and your ankles activated. And you can do that almost without thinking about it. So all this stuff that I've suggested isn't like you have to focus on that and lose touch with whatever somebody's doing. You can do it almost mindlessly, and just kind of flex and point. And you can also do some ankle rolls. And I'm purposely not showing you my ankles because it just demonstrates that you can be doing these little movements that will help your nerves and muscles and just your whole body feel more relaxed. And also it can energize you if you're feeling tired, because you're getting that circulation in, you're kind of keeping your nerves from getting too compressed. So ankle rolls, the flex and point, the squeeze your glutes. Another one, now this will be visible, but just see how distracting it might be. If you just kind of go like this, then settle. And you don't have to keep doing it because then people might notice it. But just every once in a while, just shrug your shoulders and then just let them down. And people might sense the movement, but it isn't too distracting. And that is really great to do from time to time during your video chats, because your shoulders can get so tense. And when your shoulders are tense, your neck gets tense and your face, and so keeping those shoulders moving every once in a while. And again, you can do that pretty mindlessly, but it'll help you keep them looser. And, I just think it's a good way to feel better as you're doing these chats. Another one you can do that won't really cause much notice is moving your head a little bit. Like one thing, when I'm getting tired of smiling so much, what I'll do instead is just like when someone's talking, I'll just nod, and it gives that an affirming action without, always having to be like super smiley. And that also helps just make your head and neck feel a little better. And if you get a chance to disagree with something, or if you're, like if somebody's saying something that it would be appropriate to shake your head this way, go ahead and do that. And you could probably do like a really quick one and nobody'd even notice. Or if they do, it wouldn't be a big deal. So again, the key is to do these subtle movements throughout the session. And if you, again, practice with people that you know, like a family meeting or your friends, practice it with them and then start to let it seep into your more official calls. And I think that it actually helps you be more attentive if you attend to yourself and how you're feeling. And it'll come across on camera. Like as I'm sitting right now, do I look pretty relaxed to you? And I'm even filming a YouTube video, so there's that extra pressure because I'm kind of a new YouTuber. But I try to sit in a position that puts me at ease, and I hope then that it puts you at ease. So those are some of the tips I have. And another one is to remember to do some really good deep breathing. And again, people won't even really notice that. So as you're listening, if you can fill your lungs and abdomen with air several times during the session. You can do a few in a row, and then, go back to your normal way of breathing. And then, another point in the conversation, and that's totally appropriate. And most of the time, people aren't even going to notice. Or if they do, you're modeling good behavior for them, and maybe they'll take a deep breath. And so getting that oxygen through your system is so important. as you're talking, as you're listening, as you're sitting, to keep everything moving as much as you can through your body without, again, disrupting the session, will help you stay more focused, because the oxygen will also get to your brain, and keep your body flowing. So breathing intentionally. Again, you don't have to deep breathe all throughout the session. I remember years ago, somebody said, "Oh, I deep breathe all throughout the day." And I didn't want to mess with her too much, but I'm thinking, okay, that is impossible. We cannot do that all the time. It's more about being intentional about it at different times to give yourself that break. So throughout the session, if you do that deep breathing, it's going to help. And then just give yourself permission, if you really need to, like especially if it's one where you're not going to disrupt, to go away from the camera just for a moment. You know, if you need to take a break from looking at it, you can just gently lean down, and then you can come up again. And just that short amount of time, I can feel that it was helpful. And another one that you can do that's even less obvious is allowing your gaze to go like this a little bit and then bringing it back. And you can do it even quicker than that, just like this. And when you think about it, when you're in person meeting with people, you will do that. You don't just stare at the person like this the whole time. They might think, ah! So if you can give yourself permission to allow your gaze, you know, again, not to just keep looking that way, because people will go, are you listening? But just if you're talking even, you know how sometimes when you're thinking about something, you might look away for a moment and that helps you think. You can do that when you're speaking, or if you're listening. If you just do those little quick things, it gives your eyes a break from the screen, which is so important too. All of these things are about refreshing yourself and keeping yourself in a flow that feels good, keeps you focused, but also gives you some breaks. And to end this, I would like to just take you through a little mini session. And you know, if you like it, maybe you can throw these into your Zoom sessions and have everybody do them with you. So this is going to be a really quick one. So to begin, breathe in, and as you inhale, bring up your arms. And as you exhale, lower your arms. This can feel so good after you're doing video chat. We'll do it 2 more times. Breathe in and raise your arms up. Then breathe out and lower them. One more time. Breathe in, raise your arms. And then breathe out and lower them. And then move your head a little bit to loosen up your neck. You can also do some what I call Halfmoon Rolls, which is just a gentle half moon shape that you're making to loosen up your neck muscles. That can feel really good. And then just close your eyes for a few moments and imagine a time in your life when you felt blissful. A time when something was happening that made you happy and blissful. And spend a few moments as I become quiet just thinking about that time. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Shake out your whole body. You can do this before and after sessions, and maybe again inspire people to take a little shake break within the session. And give yourself permission to take these breaks throughout your day. You deserve to feel as good as you can during all this extra work and challenging times that we have, give yourself permission to take these breaks. It's not being careless, it's being careful about your health and your well-being. So I hope this week you remember to take time to breathe and stretch and do those things that you enjoy.